Not worried about the noise because if I hear the generator running and I don't have lights, it's like a sweet sound for me. So,
What made you decide to be an electrician in the end? I know we kind of talked about that earlier, because it's something you could be all over the world. Do you love to travel? Is that kind of what you were thinking?
I love to travel. I just didn't know where I was going to end up. I was young. I was fresh out of school. I was more scared about choosing a right career or choosing the right path. And I think it just kind of amazed me what electricity could do. And I get real bored real quick with things. And there was always something to learn with electricity. So yeah. I liked it.
What hours do y'all work?
So we work from 6 in the morning to sometimes 10 at night. We also do 24-hour service electrical work. So if you call me on Christmas Day, I'll probably be the one answering the phone. And we'll come out and figure out what's going on. Now, it's for an emergency. We're not going to come out if somebody's light's not turning on in their closet.
In their closet, yeah. It's like if your whole house is off, maybe. Yeah. So you don't just provide generators, you provide general electrical services as well. I know we focus so much on the generators because it's such a hot topic right now, but make sure.
Yeah, so we do, some of our high-end clients is City of Houston. We take care of Woodlands Resort, Howard Hughes, Harris County. We do a lot of the schools, police stations, libraries. We do all their preventative maintenance and upgrades for the schools and stuff. But we stay pretty busy.
So just like a realtor, you're kind of like on call 24/7 pretty much, but even worse because I can't go out and fix anyone's anything. But
man, I don't know if you could put us on that high of a bar. Realtors got to do a lot.
Yeah, well, we just have to be on call at all times, and most of the time people want to text us or call us late night. Luckily, I'm a night owl, so it works out for me that that's usually when I'm not running around showing property or doing something anyway. It's time to answer the phone calls and kind of sort through everything. So
most definitely.
But with you, it's more like on call. You've got to get out the door and go do what you need to do. How many people do you have on your team or crew that work for you?
So we have about 10 crews. We have 9 salespeople, and then we have 4 people in the office. We've drastically grown from the beginning of this year till now. And I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's awesome. So you kind of have that now, that relationship with Generac directly to where you've become like kind of the preferred vendor for them here, or and so that's why you're able to get things to people quicker than maybe some of the other people.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so we kind of forecasted out for the freeze, and we purchased a lot of generators before the freeze. So you have to order them in advance, and they take time to get here. There's still people who ordered generators back in October who still don't have them now. But we placed a few $1 million in orders for generators, and we have them coming in weekly.
That's awesome. So you kind of prepared yourself. Because I guess it was, beyond the floods, and you didn't know that the freeze was going to happen, but it was.
It was definitely a gamble that paid out for sure.
And so you can pretty much, offer that service to anyone at this time, and they're available to get you generators. Like I said, lead time is probably, half, if not a third of the time that I've heard from other people calling. I know even personally, my mother called and said, one of my friends wants a generator. It was like going to be 3 months just to even get like an appointment, It was like to get on their calendars. And I called you guys and said, hey, do you have time? And your mom called me back and literally in 10 minutes and said, I can come this afternoon. It's like, that's awesome. And then they're going to be 6 weeks. So before they even had an appointment to even get a consultation on it, these people already have the generator in their home. So that's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, so we a lot of our competitors won't buy generators up front. They want to get a deposit from the customer, and then they use that deposit money to go buy their generator. And we buy them up front. We take the risk of having them in stock and getting rid of them. And I think with big risk comes big rewards.
I think it was really cool when you told me, when I met you guys and realized that it's your mom works for you. It's like a family business, and.
Yeah, so my business partner, we actually met off the coast of Venezuela in a little country called Curaçao. We both worked offshore, and we rode the rig back to Houma, Louisiana, and jumped off the chopper and rode back to Houston back in 2011. And we've been hanging out ever since. Our kids hang out with each other's kids, and my wife's good with his wife, and we just kind of hit it off. And treat everybody like family, especially at our company. We love it.
And I think that's the basis of any business, right? You want not only I think people feel that when they do business with people that are happy with what they're doing and working with people that they enjoy working with. And that always makes a huge difference, and making that connection. I think, and real estate in general, and every kind of thing that you offer, any kind of service that you offer, as long as I think the person on the other end can offer that same level of service, I think that's what makes all of us successful together, right? Is be able to kind of lean on each other, to know that when you give someone a lead or you give someone anything like that, that they're able to satisfy your customers in a way that makes them happy and feel like they were serviced in a positive way and quickly, you know? So it's like you want to give someone a phone number and you want to get it done quickly, then definitely call Collaborative Services as far as electrician work, but especially generators. I think that's kind of more the bread and butter, and that's really what y'all have a stronger focus on at this point. And I think it's the more unique side of their business that allows them to be able to provide a service that a lot of other people aren't able to provide, because they do actually have those generators in stock and able. It's interesting how many. You tell me that they have to get, because obviously we deal with new construction all the time, and we're always waiting on the city to put in the gas lines or to put in this or that, and meters and all that. I didn't even think that a generator would need to have to get permitted. Because if I put in a new air conditioner, it doesn't need to be permitted, but does it? I don't think so. But a generator, you do have to get it permitted.
Oh yeah, and it's real bad. Like for Seabrook or Baytown, there's an extensive process you need to go to get permitting over there, and they just require some stuff sometimes that I think is unreal. But hey, we got to do what they want to do to play by the rules.
What is the reasoning of why they have to? Why does it need to get permitted? Because I guess it's taking.
Well, because
energy.
It's going to be an attachment of a home. You have to tie into the electrical system. You have to tie into the gas system, natural gas or propane. So they want to make sure that people that are licensed are touching this equipment, because at the end of the day, somebody could get hurt, if they do it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And you want your house to be. They're certified, so that makes it that extra level, because like I said before, the people that I called before to ask about this service, and to ask about getting generators for my clients had no idea what they were talking about. Just because they were like, oh, we have to come, we have to do this, we have to do that. I'm like, why can't you just give me a price, How soon can I get on your books to come do this, And it was I guess not amusing in the sense that I appreciated the fact that you were able to just give me those answers right away, provide the service. People came out. You were I think when I called one time, y'all were at an expo or something, like, we can go after the expo. I'm like, that's okay, you can go tomorrow, but if today works, it works. But I appreciate you coming on the show and offering, everyone here services. If y'all need a generator, please call Collaborative Services. How can they get a hold of you?
They can call us at 936-228-2916 or go to collaborativeservicestx.com. You can also reach us on Facebook and make your own appointment. And you can call me if you can't get a hold of them via my cell, 281-386-2562.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back in a few minutes.
Did you know that children and adults are spending 90% of their time indoors? Whether at home or at the office, structures are now built tighter and more energy efficient, creating toxic environments.
Indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoors. Childhood asthma has increased 600% in the last 30 years. According to the EPA, there are over 750,000 new asthma cases every year in the United States.
Poor air quality can cause headaches, snoring, fatigue, sneezing, coughing, severe allergies, and much more. Additionally, chemical pollution from cleaning products such as bleach or Lysol, and also treated building materials, can severely affect your health.
Tactico is an indoor air quality company that focuses on health and wellness by using revolutionary technology to clear the air of toxic indoor pollution.
Our cutting-edge, green-certified solutions remove all odors, allergens, viruses, mold, toxic chemicals, and insects to create healthy homes and workplaces. Within minutes, our military-grade products kill 99.9999% of all toxins. Our team is highly experienced and is comprised of military veterans whose mission is to provide excellent customer service to our clients. Because your safety and your health are important to us, call Tactico today, 832-901-9979, and let us create a healthy environment so that you and your family can live pollution-free.
Buying, selling, or renting a property is an important step that will impact your life and the life of your loved ones. In fact, research shows that having an experienced realtor ensures a better pricing, selling, buying, or renting a property. Hi, my name is Dena Musfy with Greenwood King Properties. If you want to buy, sell, or rent a property, call me. I have the resources and strong know-how to navigate your transaction with ease. At the same time, when necessary, I can perform market evaluations and assessments, make recommendations for any staging or renovations needed to make your property shine, and anything else needed to list your property and sell it as fast as possible. Additionally, I'm a master certified negotiator and can provide several financing solutions. The goal is to sell your house fast and for the highest price possible, or find you your dream home and negotiate the best deal. Leave the selling, buying, or renting of your property to me. Take a strong step, reach out to me today so I can handle all your real estate needs.
Hi, I'm Karina Rodriguez, President of Exfinia Financial Services. Let me ask you a few questions. How prepared are you to reach your financial goals? To pay for your kids' education, to buy a house or start a business? Do you know how much money you will need for retirement? Do you have a plan that will allow you to live peacefully after retirement and later in life? Are you prepared to face unexpected situations, such as a chronic illness, an accident, or an untimely death? How will your family be protected? At Exfinia Financial Services, our mission is to help you answer these questions and to design a financial plan that covers all the areas that are relevant to your family or your business. Most importantly, a plan that gives you peace. Some of our services include a detailed assessment of your current financial situation, creating a plan for establishing an emergency fund and protection, debt management, tax optimization, as well as estate planning. Some of our financial strategies protect your capital against drops in the financial markets while benefiting when the market rises. We offer these services at no cost to you. Take control of your financial well-being. Contact us and we will be happy to assist you whether you live in the US or abroad, regardless of your migratory status. Let us be part of your financial success and stability.
What is so special about sleeping? It boosts your mental health. It's critical for your immune system, weight management, and fertility, amongst other important aspects of your health. Most people do not know the average person spends a third of their life on a mattress. A hard reality is some people spend roughly 7 years of their lives tossing and turning because their mattress needs replacing, or it's just a low quality mattress, which in turn leads to multiple spine issues and other health problems. Hi, I'm John McCarty with Mattress Firm. Having the exact mattress for you is critical for your overall well-being, and my goal is to help you find the exact mattress that'll increase your quality of life and your loved ones and have a restful night's sleep. Call me at 832-815-8482. I'd love to help.
Hi everyone, we're back, and I'm here with Kevin Barden with Rivers Barden Architects. I was like, I don't know why it's a tongue twister for me, a little bit, but Rivers Barden Architects, and we're going to talk about architecture. It's
All right.
something that I think a lot of people don't know anything about. I mean, I think people think, okay, you put up buildings, you design them, blah blah blah, but I think there's a lot more to it than that. So tell me a little bit about yourself personally, where you're from, all that stuff, and then kind of let's lead into what got you into architecture.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Minnesota. Took the scenic route over to Houston. Most recently lived in San Francisco, Berkeley area. But I've been in Houston for about 6 years, and it's been awesome. Yeah.
I love San Francisco to go visit. I lived there briefly, and it was a
pricey.
little cold for my Texas blood too.
Yeah.
Prices were definitely. I mean, that's something you expect you're moving to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we paid $350 for a parking spot. Like for a parking spot in our building that we lived in already, that we were paying $3,000 rent for 900 square feet. So be appreciative if you're in Houston listening to this or watching this of the prices we have here in Houston. But I think the structures and architecture in San Francisco is really cool. I know, like the building we lived in was from like the 1800s. It was crazy, it was like just really old.
Yeah, super beautiful buildings and beautiful landscape. But I think one of the differences between San Francisco area and the Houston area is San Francisco, I mean, you have to kind of call 300 neighbors. You got to put story poles up. It takes a year or 2 years to get through permitting and all these kind of things. And here in Houston, it's almost like, as long as you can comply with your HOA, you can kind of do what you want, and the timelines are a lot faster. And there's actually just kind of a lot more freedom to build what you want to build, which is a beautiful thing.
So what got you into architecture? Like what?
Yeah, architecture. I think it's been. I was super lucky and found a passion for designing and building at a very young age. And I think one of the things that helped me is I actually grew up in a geodesic dome in the woods, which is like a buckyball, almost like a soccer ball. So it's like open on the inside and lots of great natural daylight and views to the woods. And so I was just surrounded in this space of light. And
how cool is
yeah,
that?
it was awesome. Yeah, my parents still live there today, but it was just became super interested in architecture at a very young age, and have been very fortunate to find a path.
Are your parents involved in architecture and stuff? Like to live in a house like that, or is that just a normal type house in that area?
No,
or?
it is not a normal type house, and they are not architects. They met as musicians, and just had a real passion for doing something cool on their own. And
so they built that and designed that then.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, pretty much. They had a builder on hand, and really the only stipulation was the kitchen was in the middle, because you can't put any cabinets on a kind of a dome that goes to the floor and that kind of thing. But it was very, very cool. Yeah, I loved growing up there.
I can see that being eye-opening, just like what you can do. Like I live in this. I mean, you were probably the coolest house of all your friends. Probably always wanted to come over to your house.
This is where you live.
I remember I had someone when I was in high school. He lived in kind of a tin house. Like it was made like out of metal basically, and it was a cool house. And then you had another one that like had the red door. It was like this big white house with just a red door. And it's like just something that stands out and makes something unique.
Yes. Identity is so important. Yeah, especially in house. Yeah, because it's where you live.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are some of the projects and things that you're doing nowadays in Houston? And I mean, talking about permitting was really interesting because the gentleman that was on before you, generators, he's like saying how complicated it is to get some of these, permits and things. But I guess compared to like something like San Francisco or New York or something like that, it would be.
Yeah, it is. It's not as complicated as those areas, but there's still a lot of hoops to jump through with permitting. Even smaller renovations or additions can take a little bit of time, and certainly new builds take a bit of time too. And it's just kind of really having your ducks in a row and having a good team to work with from a homeowner's point of view, and the architect and builder and everybody being on the same page goes a long way to making it as smooth as possible.
Yeah, as smooth as possible is key.
There's always going to be hiccups, and it's like at the end of the day, you want people that you trust and people that you want to work with, and if there's a problem, that you feel comfortable picking up the phone and calling and moving forward with the best solution.
What do you think, in your opinion, makes a good architect?
Good question. I think what makes a good architect and what makes a great architect is someone who really listens to the homeowner. I think there's a lot of times when, you know, someone's just kind of hearing you, but what are those particular things that make the biggest difference in your life and in terms of designing a home, or even, you know, in commercial properties as well, as like keying in on what's that most important thing, or multiple things that that need to find their way through the process of the whole project. So listening is a big thing in the practice, for sure.
What are some projects that people should call an architect for and shouldn't call an architect for?
Yeah, that's a great question too. I think probably anything from a residential side, anything that is requiring substantial renovation, anything that's kind of a new build. Those kind of projects you actually don't need an architect for, technically, to get something built. But really, an architect is going to bring the largest amount of value if there's something that's, you know, particularly custom, or something that you really want to see through to the end of the project. You know, it's like oftentimes for our residential clients, building a house is the largest investment that they will make in their lives. And so if, you know, as much as you can get it dialed in with someone who can really understands your vision, it becomes a really important thing.
What are the steps people, you know, take in, like, once they contact you, like say, okay, this is the project I want to do, what are kind of the steps people can expect?
Absolutely. So steps folks can expect are, you know, an interview process. So we really want to get to know you, how you live, what, you know, what's important, like I mentioned before. But we go through the design process. So one of the things that's particularly important is kind of going through an iterative process of design where, you know, it's not just one design, here it is, we're going to build it and kind of move on, but like, hey, here are 2 to 4 different concepts of what you could, you know, imagine for your life. And so much of it is like, you don't really know what you don't like until you see it. And you don't know what you really do like sometimes until you see it. And it takes, you know, a whole team to get through all those different iterations to be like, man, this is the perfect design for us moving forward. But yeah, so that's the kind of the first half, and then we talk with all the engineers, and then we do construction documents and permitting, and then bring on the general contractor. Hopefully that's a little bit earlier in the process, so we can just have it as smooth as possible going into construction. But there's a lot of little steps along the way that, you know, really kind of bring it to reality.
So when you would call you, and then you would find the engineers, and you would help people through the whole process, or would they come with their own builder, or kind of how does that work? You know, because I know a lot of people don't, I mean, they're just like, okay, I want to buy a lot and I want to build a house, you know, but they have nothing else beyond that. And I know that's where I can come in somewhat, because I have, you know, builders that I've worked with in the past, you know, kind of tell me your style, you know, things like that. But where does that come into play? Like, let's say, you know, I already have a custom builder, but they have, you know, this design, you know, but they want someone to come in and architect and partner with that builder and do something a little different from their book of business that they have in the past. How does that work?
Yeah. So I think maybe just starting with the consultants. You know, we have a team of consultants that we can kind of pick up the phone and call, and depending on the project type or complexity or any kind of things like that, there's better fits for better projects. And then with the general contractor, oftentimes a client has their particular builder that they want to move forward with, but they want to compare it with 1 to 2 other, you know, contractors and make sure they're getting a good price. So, you know, we have our Rolodex of contractors that we work with as well, and that you know, we vouch for. And really it's, you know, so once we start with the design, you know, we have the relationships built up to make it as smooth as possible, to make the dream a reality.
I guess is that what the advantage of working with an architect is? Like, what would you say the benefits of working with an architect
Yeah,
is?
I would say kind of the larger vision, really of kind of getting down to the details of like, what are those initial conversations, that you have, and are those apparent? Do they make their way all the way to the end of the project? Also, just the design, the quality of design. We go to school for years to just studying design. How you can be the most efficient. What's the best value? We talk a lot with our clients about energy savings. And so we use a program throughout the design process that actually tells us how much money you're saving just with your design if you do this and this and this. And it's like, hey, if you spend, $10 more, we'll save you $20 over the next 10 years.
Is that based on like a window or based on what you're ordering to put in your house?
Exactly.
Like that's kind of that stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's all these different variables of like, how good should my insulation be? What should my window package be? Do I have too many windows that face south or face directly west? What's the orientation of the living room? All those kind of variables go into how much energy your house is using, and at the end of the day, how much you're paying the energy company. And if we can tell you that, hey, you'll save $200 to $300 a month for the next 10 years, that's a good chunk of change. And just kind of getting back to the house that I grew up in with the geodesic dome, my parents specifically built that for energy savings, and they said, we're going to pay for the college education of our kids through the energy savings of this house. And it's like, if you can tell a homeowner who has a young family that college education is free if you do these things with your house, that's a huge win, and that means a lot to a homeowner, and that's where architects can really be of value to
Absolutely.
a family.
I don't think people even think about all those things, and I guarantee you some of the builders, look at the domes, they're showing the domes right now.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think that people even think about that, and I guarantee that some of these mass production builders don't think about that when they're building the house. It's just like, it's a lot, they're subdividing it, they're putting it here, it's how it's going to fit on the lot. It's not what area, it's what direction it's facing, what windows we're putting in, what any of that kind of stuff,
Exactly. And so it's like, I think a lot of times an architect is really great for projects where you're going to be in a house for 10, 5, 7, 10 plus year forever house. That's where our services really pay off.
You're really kind of build your dream home. If you're building it from scratch and you really want to maximize your benefit, have the builder partner with an architect that you trust. So It's like, go out and meet the architect. Like you said, you kind of have an interview process. Make sure it's a fit for you and for them. I think it's on both sides. I think same thing as a realtor, right? When we meet, it's like, maybe I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I hope I am, but maybe I'm not. So if I'm not, maybe I can guide you with somebody else that would be a better fit for you, for what you're looking for. Or that's not an area that our company, for example, I can refer people all over the country. So it's not like, oh, I had a client recently, well, I wish you could help me here. It's like, oh, we can, we can refer you to someone else, and I guess with you, it's like specific projects might not be, I guess, not necessarily ideal, but they might not just be the fit for the vision of your business and how you run your firm.
And for the client, where it's like, hey, you'd be way better spending your time or resources with somebody else that's not us, and it's all about having that referral network where you can, everybody. It's got to be a win-win, for everybody, and to just have that outlook and best interest for the clients and homeowners is very important.
What are the current trends you're seeing in the market with architecture and things that are happening?
Yeah, good question. I think there's a lot of we're always thinking about different materials, technologies, working with audiovisual consultants. There's a whole lot of technology in there that's super cool, super awesome, that can be integrated into any design. But just, really kind of going, there's sometimes trends are kind of going back to the basics as well, where it's like, just love daylight. We love connecting with nature. We like energy savings. We want to. That's a pretty big trend in the market right now too.
Yeah, AAV stuff. You can go nuts. I mean,
Yeah,
I know there's
it's
expos
amazing.
and all kinds of stuff that happen that you can go and see things that aren't even out for people to use for 3 years or so. So if you connect yourself with someone that, you know, is kind of innovative and things like that, to put all those innovations into the home that you're designing for somebody, it really kind of is a win-win. And
Exactly.
you're the best people to have those connections, right? Because the average person doesn't have, you know, all those connections and stuff. So if you connect with an architect that can help you, designers and all kinds of stuff that help, because even interiors need to be, once you've designed that home and stuff, there's
Big
so many
time.
trends that are changing. And
Yeah, and that's, I think, the one thing with being an architect is, you know, we are really good at knowing a lot of things about, or a little bit about a lot of things, but there's consultants, interior designers, landscape architects, landscape designers, you know, audiovisual consultants that know a lot more, builders, how to build things. You know, we love talking with them early on in the construction process, because they're the ones who are actually building it, you know, and it's like, you know, really relying on experts and expertise to make the best product possible.
so you kind of come with a team approach, like, hey, we have all these people that can offer that. And I think that's in any industry. It's like, I'm a real estate agent. I know a little bit about everything, but I'm not a lender. I'm not a title company. So specific questions I have to kind of direct to those people that are the experts in that field. So I think that's really important, to have a good network of people working with you at all times.
So true. So true.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
But tell
Thank
people how
you.
they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can get a hold of me. Our website is riversbarden.com. And my phone number is 281-742-0256. Check us out, give a call, and happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on the show. We appreciate it. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Having a spotless house is critical for your quality of living. Hi, this is Kevin Thury with WashPros.us. At WashPros, we are locally owned and operated, servicing Central Houston, Austin, and Dallas. We are fully insured. We offer annual, semi-annual, and quarterly cleanings. We recognize that needs change and Mother Nature keeps us on our toes. Just know we are happy to help. We use eco-friendly products and a purified water cleaning system for a spotless shine. We service HOAs, the property managers, investment firms, and you, the homeowner. If you're putting your house on the market, or have an annual maintenance cleaning schedule, or you're interested in holiday lighting, we are your one-stop shop for all of your exterior cleaning and holiday lighting needs. Call me today for your free on-site quote, and let WashPros.us be your clean escape.
My name is Barbara, and I'm the owner of Blades Appraisals and Art Resources. I appraise fine art, antiques, collectibles, and residential contents. My projects have ranged from an autographed Hall of Fame baseball bat to an entire museum's art collection. Here's when you should call me. The top 4 reasons. Number 1, advance estate planning to minimize your family's tax bite, as well as ensure an equitable settlement between parties after death. 2, I understand the IRS guidelines for donations. I can make sure you get the maximum value for your donation. 3, making sure you have adequate and appropriate insurance coverage. And 4, when you decide to downsize and you want to sell part of your collection, I will help you maximize the value by recommending the appropriate method of sale. Feel free to reach out for a complimentary project estimate. If I can't help you, I will make a recommendation. I truly enjoy my work, and I'd love to hear from you.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Now, more than ever, having accurate and up-to-date bookkeeping is crucial for tax and operating cost optimization. Additionally, having a reliable outside bookkeeping company ensures your books are done correctly, and there is no need for the cost of a full-time accountant. RSM Bookkeeping and Tax Services, founded by veteran Ron Maldonado, can provide different bookkeeping packages to fit your company's needs. Assist with the installation of onboarding of QuickBooks, review your books for tax preparation, assist with the creation and registration of your company and obtaining your company's EIN number with the IRS. Tax services for individuals and businesses, for sales and use tax certificates, filing franchise and sales tax reports. Take a decisive step. Call Ron Maldonado at 281-610-7039 and let RSM Bookkeeping and Tax Services be a part of your success.
Comprar, vender o alquilar una propiedad es un paso importante que impactará tu vida y la de tus seres queridos. Está comprobado que tener un agente de bienes raíces con experiencia garantiza un mejor precio al vender, comprar o alquilar una propiedad. Hola, mi nombre es Odilia Conflenti y trabajo con la agente Dena Musfy con Greenwood King Properties. Si quieres comprar, vender o alquilar una propiedad, llámanos. Dena tiene los recursos y la experiencia para navegar tu transacción con facilidad. Al mismo tiempo y cuando sea necesario, Dena puede realizar las evaluaciones del mercado, hacer recomendaciones para renovaciones necesarias para que tu propiedad brille y cualquier otra cosa necesaria para vender tu propiedad lo antes posible. Además, Dena está certificada como Master Negociadora y puede sugerir varias soluciones de financiamiento. El objetivo es vender tu casa rápidamente o encontrarte la casa de tus sueños al mejor precio posible. Déjanos la venta, compra o alquiler de tu propiedad. Da un paso fuerte y déjanos hacer el trabajo para ti.
Hi everyone, I'm back here with Ehab Shukri with Rehab with Ehab. Hi, thanks for coming.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
It's good to see you. It's been a long time. We've known
I
each other for a long time, and it's nice to have people, but I think we reconnected in the real estate world and kind of, I remember seeing videos and stuff on Instagram. I was like, hey, we should connect and learn more about what each other do in the business. So kind of tell me a little bit about yourself personally, what you got going on, and then what got you into real estate investments.
Yeah, thanks, Dena. So I'm Ehab Shukri. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I've always had a passion about investing in real estate, mainly because I wanted to, be financially free and a lot of the exciting things that people think about when they're thinking about investing in real estate. And so got started in my late 20s and then really followed through with it as a passion, and now I'm doing it full-time.
Next, I know you had a full-time normal job, you know,
Yeah.
the 9 to 5 type job, and you were doing it kind of on the side? Is that what, when you
Yeah.
started?
Yeah, I mean, I had a full-time job, you know, caught up in the rat race, and just wanted to be able to get out and live life on my terms and do the things that I wanted to do. And so I invested in real estate, bought some properties, and did that on the side with my job.
Okay. Describe kind of what's your approach in investing? Like how do you pick the properties? What do you do with them? Kind of what's your approach?
Yeah. So I'm really big into buy and hold investing because I think that's really the key to building wealth is owning property and creating that passive income. So everything I buy, I really like to keep. And I do something what's called the BRRRR strategy, which is BRRRRR. So it stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. And so really what that lets me do is buy properties that are in disrepair, that are distressed, fix them up, create the value, rent them out, usually as a short-term rental, which is what I really like to do, and then refinance them to get my cash back. And by doing it that way, I'm able to cash out every time so that I have my money so I can go buy more properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's a way to do things. You know, I mean, you've created obviously you have numerous properties. How many properties do you got going right now?
I'm up to 40 rental units now,
Wow,
including a
that's
60-unit
incredible.
apartment that I'm remodeling right now too.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Is that your first apartment, or do you have several apartments going?
I've had a few small multifamily properties. I had a 6-plex, a 4-plex, but this 16-plex is definitely my biggest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So kind of, do you just do it on your own? Do you have a team? Do you work with a bunch of people? Kind of,
Yeah.
how do you do that?
Yeah, I've had to really build a good team around me. So I have great contractors, great title companies, inspectors, all of those people that you need to really have a successful real estate investment business. And I actually have started to create a mentorship program to teach people to do the same thing too. So all of those great resources that I have, I share with my students, and they're able to use them and leverage from all of my experience as well.
All right, so mentor program.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about this mentor program and kind of what it entails. How do you take on people to be in? How do they sign up for it? What is it exactly?
Yeah, so I just found that a lot of people have been in my same shoes. They want to be financially free. They don't want to have to work if they don't want to, and so. You know, a lot of people came to me for advice and would ask about how I'm investing in real estate or just tips and tricks on certain things. And so I finally decided that last year I was going to actually put together a formal mentorship program to teach people how to do the strategy that I do and to give them all the resources and tools that they need to really be able to build their own business and become financially free. So that's really what I put together late last year. It's a program that, you know, really anybody can sign up for. It's a lifetime membership, so once you're in, and it's a combination of online training videos, a community that I've created, and weekly group coaching calls that I have. If people are interested in it, I have a website called rehabwithehab.com. Also, my Instagram is rehabwithehab, so you can go to any of those places and find out more about the program. And really, I love to sit down and talk to people first before they join the program. I want to understand what their goals are and make sure that my program is going to be a good fit for them. So if you're interested, you know, set up a call with me. You can go to any of those websites to get that information and set up that call, and let's chat.
So there's a cost involved, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So what's the cost involved? Because you said basically once they become a member, it's a lifetime membership. Is that a repeat cost, or is it just a one-time cost to join your program? Or
yeah, I mean, there's a one-time investment into the program. You know, I'm willing to be flexible with people as terms of breaking up payments or things like that. But yeah, certainly I want to make sure I'm delivering value to folks. So I've created this program so that it does that, and I really want to make sure that I have a great program in place for them.
Do you really handhold through the whole process? Like, let's say that first one that someone's really nervous about, you know, and they want to really be handheld. I mean, is it to that extent that you can really handhold through that first, you know, purchase and kind of give advice and mentor through that program, you know, through the process?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, I mean, not only, even if they've bought houses in the past, I feel like a lot of people don't, you know, understand the process really deeply. And I know as an agent myself, I really value the knowledge, to give people the knowledge when they're buying a house and make them understand the whole process, not just, hey, you're going to the title company, close, this is your lender, they're approving. You know, understand it. Look at the paperwork, read the stuff, understand it. So I can imagine someone with their first investment, it would be very nerve-wracking. So
Yeah.
kind of how does that work with you in your mentorship program?
Yeah, definitely there's some hand-holding that takes place. I really try to teach people through the training how to do things the right way, so I don't have to do as much hand-holding. But certainly there's going to be those one-off cases where you have a question and you just want to give me a call, or you want me to come look at your property to help you do the walkthrough, or figure out what's the best approach for remodeling the property. So I've done that with several of my students, and I want to make sure that they're successful. So whatever it takes to help them really get there, I'm willing to do.
Okay, it is a crazy market out there right now.
Yeah.
So I know I work with some people that do investment property and things like that, but it's hard to find those homes. Like, it's hard to find the homes that are good value, that aren't getting 30 offers on them at this point. How are you working that now with it being so busy, and what's your strategy on multiple offers and situations like that? Because I'm positive that what you're buying is a multiple offer situation.
Yeah, well, I'm having to get creative like everybody else. So first and foremost, I go after properties that are in really bad shape. So that kind of narrows the pool down from just your regular home buyer to only competing with other investors. But then after that, I really look at ways I can get creative with the deal. Like, actually, just recently, I got a contract on a mechanic shop that I'm looking to turn into a short-term rental spot. So a lot of people have looked at it and said, this probably isn't going to be a good deal as a mechanic shop. They're asking too much. But me, when I looked at it, I saw that I could turn this into 4 really cool short-term rentals, or Airbnbs. And so that's going to be my plan, to turn this into something that's going to really cash flow and create a lot of money. So I'm getting creative, and that's something that I think a lot of people can do to try to turn things into good deals.
Yeah, you kind of have to start thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
Turning a mechanic shop into an Airbnb, that's pretty creative.
Yeah.
That's really neat. I want to see that when you get it done. Maybe I'll have to come back on the show and have to show everybody that, because I think that would be pretty cool for anyone to see.
Yeah.
I guess, how do you even come up with those type of ideas? Like, are you researching? That's something that's really outside the box. How did you come up with ideas like that?
Well, now that I'm full-time, I have more time on my hands to be able to really look and see what's selling, what's cool in the market. So I've been in the short-term rental space. I know that the really unique, cool short-term rentals are the things that people are looking for, like cool experiences. And so just looking at some things that my friends have done with tiny homes and things like that inspired me to think differently about this mechanic shop. So that's what I'm looking to do, and go in there and maybe create something that car enthusiasts would really love to rent out as a short-term rental. So I think there's a lot of people out there that like that, and they would really find it a cool place.
And I guess you can advertise that differently, because you can advertise it as a cool car enthusiast Airbnb, and create kind of its own marketing scheme for that all on its own.
For sure. I'll call it like the Grease Monkey Inn or something like
that.
Oh,
how fun. So tell me, like, a success story that you've had with one of your students that has been in your mentorship program.
Yeah. So, a lot of success stories, but one of them that stands out is Heather. She was studying real estate investing for 2 years before joining my program, but she really suffered from something called analysis paralysis, which is where you just kind of overthink it way too much and never take action. And so she joined my program at the end of last year, and I really helped her understand how to invest in real estate, how to look at properties, and she was able to, within just a few months, find a really cool property over east of downtown Houston. It's a house in the front with 2 units in the back above the garage. And right now she's turning that back garage into 4 units, because she's putting something on the first floor too in the back, and remodeling the house. So her first project is going to be a 5-unit Airbnb that she's going to rent out and make $10,000, $11,000 a month on.
Wow. So how did she, I guess, the 2 on the top, and then made the 1 on the bottom into 2 as well?
Yeah. The first floor is like, in the back building, the first floor is like a garage. And so she's going to actually turn that garage into 2 units as well. So she'll have 4 1-bedroom units in the back building, and then a full 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in the front, for a total of 5 units. And as a short-term rental, really cute, fixing it up. It's going to bring in close to $10,000, $11,000 a month in rent.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so Airbnbs are really successful. You can, I guess, is it location? What's the prime thing that you would say on having a successful Airbnb?
Yeah, I would say, standing out, being unique is really an important quality. So creating some cool character to your property that stands it out from the competition is one good element. Location is certainly important. Here in Houston, anything close to the medical center is really great because we've got a really hustling and bustling Texas medical center. So patients would rather choose to stay in an Airbnb with a kitchen and a living room than stay in a hotel if they're in town for 3, 4, 5 months for medical treatment. So I think that's certainly location's important. I think those are two key elements: is finding a good location and creating a unique space that's really comfortable and inviting, and that will keep you booked all year long.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So tell everybody again how they can get a hold of you, how they can be a part of your program if they're interested, or just contact you to inquire about your program.
Sure. So definitely start by going to www.rehabwithehab.com. Download my free guide. I have a free guide on there, how to make $25,000 a month in passive income. So that's a great free guide just to get some basic information. And then from there, you can schedule a phone call with me from my website. And I'd love to talk to you and just learn more about your goals and make sure my mentorship program is a good fit for you. But if it is, I mean, we're always welcoming people into the mentorship program and trying to help people build that financial freedom, which I think is something everybody deserves, right? You're an entrepreneur too, so you get it. And I mean, just give that lifestyle that I think you can get from really going after your dreams.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Ehab,
Yeah.
for coming on the show. It's
Yeah.
great to see you.
Yeah, great
and
to see you too.
I'd be really interested to see how many people actually reach out and do, get into investing. It's always fun to watch people grow and do things like that. So
Yeah.
please reach out to him if you're even interested in that, because I know everyone has questions about it and always thinks about it, but they don't actually take that step to actually do it. And I think, analysis paralysis, by analysis, whatever,
Yeah.
is definitely one of those things that a lot of people overthink things. So I think definitely reach out to Ehab if you want to get involved. And I appreciate you watching the show. And thank you to Now Media TV for having us every week and allowing us to give you all this information. I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Reciban un fuerte y caluroso abrazo hoy desde aquí, desde Houston, desde la ciudad espacial. Bienvenidos a un programa más de política y negocio con Gustavo Soto. Recuerden que nos pueden ver a través de Now Media, Canal 21, el primer canal bilingüe en Texas, y nos ven en todos los estados de México a través del Heraldo Media Group, y también en Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Prime, y por supuesto no olviden seguirnos a través de Facebook, de YouTube e Instagram. En Port Arthur y en Bowman nos pueden ver en el canal 2710, en Atlanta en el canal 22, y nos escuchan en los 102.9 en Chicago. Y como es de costumbre, cada semana tenemos invitados de lujo en nuestra silla VIP. El día de hoy le corresponde a Karina Rodríguez, una gran empresaria que nos va a venir a tocar sobre un tema importantísimo que necesitamos todas las familias hispanas, porque en realidad que sí lo necesitamos. Karina, es un placer compartir el día de hoy contigo.
Gracias por la invitación, Gustavo. Encantada de estar en tu programa.
Gracias. Karina, vamos a poner en contexto un poco a nuestra audiencia y a contarle quién es Karina como empresaria, esta mexicana que emigró aquí a los Estados Unidos, que ya lleva prácticamente media vida viviendo aquí en Estados Unidos y que hoy en día hace industria, hace negocio aquí en los Estados Unidos y que ayuda a la comunidad hispana, y no solamente a la hispana, sino a la anglosajona también, y todos los que realmente necesitamos una educación financiera.
Claro. Bueno, pues soy originaria de México. Nací en Reynosa, Tamaulipas. Estudié en el Tecnológico de Monterrey. Soy contador público, me especialicé en finanzas internacionales y bueno, tengo ya 24 años radicando aquí en Houston. Tengo una pasión por ayudar a los hispanos, ya que yo creo mucho en la educación financiera. Yo creo que todas las personas quieren cumplir sus metas financieras de la manera más eficiente. Simplemente están tomando las mejores decisiones que pueden tomar con la información que tienen.
Claro.
Yo creo que si les explicamos conceptos financieros básicos, les vamos a dar las herramientas para que tomen mejores decisiones.
Ok, Karina, pero no te me adelantes. Vamos a contar primero cómo se llama tu compañía, qué hacen en esta compañía. Cuéntanos un poquito más en detalle.
Bueno, nuestra empresa es Exfinia Financial Services y nuestra misión es ayudar a las personas a obtener sus metas financieras de la manera más eficiente, cualquiera que sea esa meta. Y lo hacemos haciendo un análisis completo de todos los aspectos que afectan su vida financiera para que logren esas metas más eficientemente.
Interesante lo que nos cuenta Karina y ahora sí vamos a entrar en contexto porque ahora vienen las preguntas súper importantes. Yo quería preguntarte, ¿en verdad existen, digamos, cuentas en las que puedo seguir recibiendo un ingreso de por vida? O antes de hablar de esto, ¿quieres que miremos la presentación y empecemos el paso a paso? ¿Qué quieres hacer?
Podríamos hacer eso, primero empezar por ver qué es un plan financiero completo.
Ok, vamos a pedirle el favor a Jonathan entonces de ver los slides para poder ir hablando poco a poco de cómo se hace y cómo debemos desarrollar un plan financiero que nos cuesta, Karina, es bastante complicado porque pasamos por la universidad y digamos que para la época en ninguna universidad nos enseñaban eso, ¿no?
Claro, y bueno, aquí vamos a hablar de los diferentes puntos que implica un plan financiero completo. La primera parte es tener la protección adecuada. Porque imagínate, Gustavo, que viene una persona, nos da sus metas, le hacemos un plan, esa persona ya está súper organizada, ahorrando mes a mes lo que quiere ahorrar, pero ¿qué pasa si de repente algo sucede, algo totalmente inesperado, fuera de su control? Entonces, lo que tiene que suceder es que tiene que entrar en juego esa protección y esa protección va a cubrir ese hueco de lo que faltó del ahorro para que el plan financiero sea sólido y se cumpla.
Ok, perfecto. Luego de esto, ¿qué sigue, Karina?
Bueno, de esto sigue el análisis de deuda.
Ok.
Todos en este país tenemos deuda.
Okay.
Pero hay deuda buena, hay deuda no tan buena. Tenemos que analizar qué deuda se paga lo más pronto posible, qué deuda es conveniente irla pagando de acuerdo a lo establecido, porque si no optimizamos la deuda, Gustavo, es lo que nos puede drenar nuestra capacidad de ahorro.
Ok, y entonces ahí el problema se nos complica un poco, Karina, porque deudas es lo que tenemos y por dónde empezamos a eliminarlas definitivamente. O sea, ¿qué es lo que quito? ¿Los celulares? No, porque tengo que pagar celular. La luz tengo que pagarla, el carro tengo que pagarlo, la aseguranza tengo que pagarla. Es decir, entonces, ¿qué empiezo a eliminar para empezar a darle prioridad al pago de mis deudas?
Los gastos no necesarios. ¿Cuáles son los gastos no necesarios? Restaurantes, vacaciones, ropa, donaciones, todos los gastos extraordinarios, viajes que pudiéramos tener, todo eso es lo que podemos ir eliminando para bajar nuestro gasto y poder pagar más rápido las deudas.
Bueno, eso suena muy interesante, suena muy fácil, pero en realidad aplicarlo y llevarlo a la realidad se nos empieza a complicar un poco. A veces no tenemos ni siquiera para el viaje, a veces no tenemos ni siquiera para gastos adicionales. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que está pasando, Karina? Estamos acomodados en un trabajo que no estamos ganando lo necesario, no nos alcanza el dinero versus lo que gastamos. ¿Qué es lo que realmente está sucediendo allí?
Bueno, pueden suceder dos cosas. O se está gastando de más o no se está teniendo suficiente ingreso en la familia, ¿no? Entonces ahí lo más importante en ese momento es ver un presupuesto.
Okay.
Dividir los gastos necesarios, los gastos que no pueden parar, contra los gastos no necesarios y ajustarnos al ingreso que se está teniendo en ese momento.
Okay.
Una vez que el ingreso pueda subir, entonces podemos relajarnos un poco con los gastos. Pero mientras tanto, es sumamente importante nunca, Gustavo, jamás gastar más de lo que está ingresando a la casa.
Ese es el mayor problema que tenemos todos.